Welcome back to Modern 9 to 5. We have a British person tonight, but more importantly, it's another female in our show. So no longer a bro podcast. We all know that this gives me a lot of opportunities to talk shit about the UK. I have a toxic relationship with that country. We know that. A few bad memories, lots of good ones as well. And she's going to give a fresh perspective on what it's like to live in London nowadays, what the Londonish modern 9 to 5 is. Side note, she's actually Georgian, but she left when she was 8 years old. She's an amazing photographer. She worked for some of the most famous names in the world. And she graduated from the London Art School. Is that the correct name?
University of the Arts London.
Apparently the second in the world. So this is not your classic 9 to 5 story. And now she is a freelancer. She does her own stuff. And let's see what she has to say. Hi, Marie, or
Hi.
should I call you Mariam?
You can call me Mariam, you can call me Mari, whatever name you like at this point.
Good. Hello, Mariam. Good to have you
Hi,
here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming to us. And I mentioned this before starting off the podcast, but I'm sure a lot of our listeners are weirded out just by your accent, because this classic British accent doesn't really suit the Georgian language. So we don't know how you do this. You know, this you need to have a certain type of. You need to work on your strength.
Like jaw movements, like water, you know.
and weird thing is that you're pretty fluent on Georgian as well. So when you switch from one to another language, it just doesn't sound as natural. So that's another thing that they might think of us as an AI.
True, yeah. Someone did say that, right?
Many people did, and it got lots of likes as well. So
True.
Maybe you should start narrating books next time or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Good.
Anyways, Marie or Mariam, please walk us through your early stages of the career, or maybe start from your early life. However you feel comfortable. Feel no pressure.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate
just
it.
tell us about yourself, and we'll be asking more and more questions because
Okay.
we're very curious about your experience.
So I'm Mary, I'm 24 years old, and I actually was born in Tbilisi, and I grew up in Tbilisi till I was 8 years old. And then my parents actually decided to move to the UK because they had a job opportunity to move there. And then since then, I've been in the UK for 16 years. And then literally 2 weeks ago, I moved back to Georgia, and I'm going to be living here for a year minimum. I decided to go into freelancing, but if we backtrack a little bit, I have ADHD, so I'm going to be rambling on all of today.
I think all of our previous guests had ADHD.
Really?
Yeah,
One
and
of
even
our
Levan has
hosts
ADHD.
does have
It's
it.
something to do with creativity, I think, because I can't keep still. I paint, I draw, I do photography and stuff. But again, I'm getting off track, so I need to go back to your question.
That's all right.
So I studied at University of the Arts London, which is second in the world for arts and design, which was amazing. And then after university, 3 days after graduation, I started working for a really well-known photographer. And my life became the Devil Wears Prada. So that was really
Okay.
exciting. Running around, getting coffees and stuff. I was his archivist. So just going through all of his archive. And then a few months later, he promoted me to exhibitions, publishing and archive. So I was going to like different places, like to do with exhibitions, telling 60-year-old men like, oh, this print isn't good enough and stuff. And they were like, who are you? Because I was 20 years old at the time. So that was a really fun experience. And then after that, so I was there for 2 years. And then after that, I decided to leave that world behind. And I really just wanted to go into more photography. So I decided to start working at a model agency. As an in-house photographer. And then I also became their model agent, their social media manager, and then also their creative director and producer for their magazine. So everything into a one-woman show.
Okay, that's a lot for a 24-year-old.
Yeah.
But I do have to ask, since you came back from London to Georgia, and you've been there for 16 years,
Yeah.
right? And we know how much Lemon hates UK, but is it that bad there, or why you also came back
I don't
here?
know
Just
who's
be honest.
gonna watch.
What
Yeah.
brought you here?
Or
What
I
was
mean,
it
in
that-
his defense, he was in Manchester and you were in London, which is totally different
Yeah.
part.
See,
But
Yeah, 3 times more expensive. That's the only difference there.
Very. It's so expensive. I never went to Manchester, actually. I always wanted to visit up north. But what I can say about London in a short summary is that it always rains. It's very expensive. And personally, I just don't know why anyone lives there. So I don't know why I even
we have
live there,
another UK hater.
Yeah, me, yeah.
Well, and her boyfriend apparently, he
Yeah.
is classic British, and it
Shout
was
out
his
to my
idea actually
boyfriend, yeah.
to come here to Georgia.
Yeah, that's a whole other story as well.
Yeah, that's like a teaser for our future episodes. Though, if he makes up his mind, he's gonna come with us, although he's a bit shy. Anyways, I had many questions, but I didn't want to interrupt your brief life story, Marie. First of which is, how the hell in the early 2000s did your parents get the opportunity to work in the UK?
Oh, that's such a
Because-
good one. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like we were pretty open to that side of the world by then.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious about that.
So that's a really good question. So actually, as you know, Georgia is a very Christian-based community and country, and my parents are Christian, so they were working at the Salvation Army, which is Khsnis Armia in Georgian, and they are all around the world.
Khsnis Armia.
Khsnis Armia, yes. So the Salvation Army, and they're based all around the world. So in the United States, like even in India, like any country, basically, I think 120 something countries, if I'm not mistaken. So the boss phoned up my dad and was like, we have an opportunity for you to become a leader in one of the churches in England. Are you going to take it? And then my dad obviously took it. And I think it was actually maybe my mum or my dad. They have arguments about who it was actually.
Was
They're
it an
like, "Who was
Orthodox
it?"
church or was
No,
it
it was-
Catholic?
No, they couldn't be Orthodox. There's no way.
I think
They-
they're
they would be
evangelist, if I'm not mistaken. Dad, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry. I'm not doing
No,
really
no, in
well.
London, no, there's no chance that they're
Yeah.
No
really
worries. Like,
Orthodox.
No.
if you don't know it, you don't know it. Now, what are you gonna do?
But yeah, so they had the opportunity. It was either my mum or my dad, or they both made the decision to move. I was 8 years old at the time. My auntie actually lived in London at the time. So when they said we're moving to England, I was like, oh, we're moving to London.
So you moved as a family.
We moved as a
Okay.
family, yeah. I didn't move alone. I wouldn't have been able to at the age of 8, maybe. I don't know. But yeah,
I
we
think
moved
he's not
as a
listening
family.
very well
I
to
do,
your story.
I do. That's just a joke. That's just a joke.
But yeah, so we moved as a family, and obviously me being an 8-year-old, when someone said we're going to England, I thought of the movies Harry Potter and Nanny McPhee, and I was like, oh, we're going to live this amazing life. And then actually we first moved to Southampton, which is a really sketchy area. I don't know if you went to
I know the football club
Southampton.
Southampton.
Yeah.
They don't do very well.
Yeah, they don't.
Can you point that to the map just so I can visualize what it
It's
is?
south. So like
South,
London
like
is here.
east side of or the west side. You don't remember?
Don't
That's
know.
fine. No
Sorry.
worries.
No.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'm not very good at maps.
It's really weird. Like in the 2.5 years that I've been in UK, I've been to so many places, and I'm not a traveler person. I don't like to visit that many places. It's just, I think it's part of their culture. Like everybody
Yeah.
always invites you somewhere. I even went to the places like Sheffield and Birmingham.
Okay.
hate it.
Birmingham. Birmingham.
Yeah, exactly. One of the worst accents I've ever seen. Even as an international, you feel that, some of the accents are just
Yeah.
impossible to understand in England. It's a good thing that you're from London.
Yeah. Thank
Anyways,
God.
do you live in central London? Have you lived in central London, or is it somewhere?
we lived in Kensington. So me and my
Oh my
boyfriend lived
God,
in
that's from all of the
Kensington.
movies.
Yeah. Princess Diana was like just around the corner, like her statue and stuff. Kensington Palace, Holland Park, like really, really beautiful place. But again, we lived in a basement flat, and I will disclose that we paid £2,100 a month in a basement flat.
In
so one bedroom. I don't know how
Oh,
many square
shit.
meters it was. I'm a girl. I don't know those things. But It was just so
that
expensive.
sounds pretty accurate about the prices that I'm
Yeah.
seeing in a one-bedroom apartment in
it's
central London.
It's horrible.
Was it at least a new building?
Yeah, it was new. It was really nice. I made it really cozy. I love interior design, so I got like a nice rug, some candles, like made it look really cute. But there was no sunshine whatsoever, obviously. And anytime the sun actually did shine, we were in a basement flat, so there was no sunshine ever. So that was really depressing, actually. So I don't recommend a basement flat in London.
One of the worst parts living in Manchester. Manchester gets even less sunlight. I don't know if you know that. Like,
Oh, no, I
than
didn't know.
London, and way more rain than London. I don't mind the rain, honestly. Like
It's
we do
cozy.
have a rain here. It's
Yeah.
fine. I like it sometimes. But yeah, this lack of sunlight was horrible, very depressing.
Yeah.
And this cloudy sky all
Like,
the time.
Black, yeah, always. But do you know what's funny, actually? Just going to quickly go off topic, but stay in the topic. Whenever it rains here, I don't know about your families, but my family, my grandma's like, I can't go outside, it's raining. I can't go to the shop, it's raining. And I always used to joke with her on FaceTime. I was like, if I did that, I'd stay home 365 days a year. Like, I have to leave my house.
She has
at
a
some
point, though. She has a
Yeah.
point
True,
because there are infrastructural differences between London and Tbilisi.
Yeah.
Obviously, London is designed for that kind of weather. And not to mention our country, our cities are not designed for the rain. They're
Yeah.
not designed the proper way in general. So whenever there's a rain, like they send us SMS messages that don't go out because you might just
A
everything
flood.
might just flood.
Yeah, you might float away all the way to London.
That sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah, to get back to the job-wise, like 9 to 5 job-wise, you did had very good job there, and some people would actually kill for the opportunities that you
Yeah.
had. But again, you still decided to come here and follow your different passion, or what actually happened?
So I think what actually happened was, you were right, a lot of people would kill for that job. And as soon as I resigned, shout out to my boss, Patrick, at the time, he was quite upset with me, actually. So he
Is
was
this about
like,
the story where
this-
for the famous photographer company?
No, this
Or
is
it
another
a-
one.
Oh,
So
okay.
Patrick...
Is this a model agency?
Yeah, the
Oh,
model
right,
agency. The director and the founder of the model agency, his name is Patrick.
Can we call the name of that model agency at least?
Of course, Menace Model Management, shout out. Yeah, woo!
Finally, no compliance issues found here.
I'm sure he'll love it as well. He'll love this. But yeah, so I worked at Menace Model Management, and people would kill for that job. Being a model agent is very glamorous.
I would kill for that job for sure.
Yeah.
Like
Same here,
shooting
yeah.
beautiful women for, and getting paid for that.
Actually, it was a men's agency, so that was a challenge.
We agree on that too. We are
Beautiful men, actually, everywhere.
we are open
so-
to anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe you are my friend.
All right,
I
all
love
right.
that.
Everybody already thinks that we're gay. Why do you have it? Why do you have to make it more obvious?
I feel like I already know the comments on this section.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really glamorous. Obviously, there were obviously jobs that I booked.
So it was
for-
an only male model agency?
Yeah, so it was only male, but there were 5 girls. So what my boss did is that he scouted all of those models that were at the agency, and there were 5 girls who were really unique. Like one of them was Asian, one of them was like a tomboy kind of. So he had a really good eye for clients as well. So he would look at a girl and say, oh, okay, you would be really good for this and this and this. So that is why he scouted girls. But I think he can agree that his strong eye was for men. So he used to go out and be able to look at someone and go, okay, he's going to do a Burberry campaign. And honestly, like the next week or the next month, he would be doing a Burberry campaign. So it was amazing. So yeah, it was very glamorous working with really high fashioned brands and clients and stuff. It was amazing.
But when Patrick told you, why are you quitting? Why are you going?
This
Or
was
where are
my
you going? What was?
My answer is actually, my boyfriend was actually my inspiration with this. He works remotely. So again, shout out to Tom.
Your boyfriend sounds like a real
That's whose
nice
fault
guy.
it is.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Hope
So-
one day he comes as a guest.
I hope so. So he actually inspired me because he works remotely and he is able to make money and also travel. He's been to places like Colombia and Mexico. And then he said to me, Mary, you have such an amazing talent with photography. Why don't you try out with different clients and go around the world and give back to your country as well by photographing its people and helping brands and helping clients? And I thought to myself, why do I not do that? Actually, that is a really good idea. But I think all this time I've been so scared to be freelance because you are self-employed. You might get a job for like 1 month and then you might not get a job
journey.
for another like year, it's not very consistent, and I've been very consistent all my life. And I think I've just been really scared of letting go of my 9-to-5 job. And I think a lot of viewers might also agree with this is I don't think no one loves their job. I think I've not met anyone who is like, I love my job. Like, it gives me everything I need. So I think I was always that person.
I'm so passionate about maximizing shareholder value, right? Like,
but I mean,
how do you say
KPIs.
there are some of the things in your portfolio that will say and give you an edge over others for sure. Regardless, even if you're a freelancer, it doesn't matter still.
True. But I think it's just all about navigating like what you like as a person. And I think now I'm going to be like a spokesperson for all the freelance people. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult. But it's been an amazing journey so far. It's only been 2 weeks of me living here. But I've had about 4 interviews, one with like a model agency, one with like a big group that does like restaurants and
so you're
hotels
just going to do the
stuff.
projects here, as far as I understand.
Yeah, I think so. So whatever I can obviously give to people and whatever I can offer, my services, whether it's weddings or whether it's like a small restaurant who is starting up, I'm willing to help them. And if we're going to talk about money in Georgia, which is a big topic as well, I know how expensive everything is, and then people don't get paid enough, which is just so difficult for me to watch. So I'm not going to be like, I'm going to get paid £200, like pay me 600 lari and like convert it into pounds and stuff. That is not how I'm thinking. So whatever they can pay in lari is completely fine for me.
That's a very good approach.
Thank
but
you.
You'll be surprised if your quality is all right. I think there are some big players that are going to pay top bucks. So don't don't be very pessimistic. Just and for one, like I told you before, we can do some cool projects together. Obviously,
100%.
we do need a lot of marketing here.
Of course, if you need a creative director or consultant, you know where I am. So that would be great.
Awesome. Going back to your first I want to hear more about the London Art School, and I'm very curious if it was worth it. Did you get a scholarship? Did it give you any real value? Like, partially what we do here is we're also challenging the, current value of the masters and higher education in general. Yeah. Like,
right, because there are the parents who are watching this podcast who are thinking, should we sell our apartments and send our children to London or not? Is it worth it?
That's exactly right.
I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. And also, I was a COVID student, big C word, obviously bringing back COVID.
Shit.
So I only was in university for 7 months and I owe them £30,000 still. I didn't
still owe them?
Yeah, I still owe them the same amount that every other person owes them, which is really unfair for me because being a person who does photography, I didn't get to really use the studios and the darkroom and stuff, whereas I'm so jealous of all of the people that are going to university and using those facilities. So I'm thinking that personally, I don't think university is worth it. I think it's about your eye as a creative. Of course, there's jobs like being a lawyer and stuff where you have to go to university and you have to obviously study
it really
those
depends
things.
on the industry, right?
Yeah.
I always thought that, creative industries, they never actually required this. How do you teach something? You create this creative box and you just put people inside it. And
you can't,
Back then I was confession, I was looking for film schools because I'm really passionate about filmmaking in general. But every Reddit post, all of my research said that, just take the fucking camera and start shooting or just start writing the script. Yeah. You're not going to get anything out of this film school except the, few connection that you might make.
That's what I wanted to say. You at least got good connections, right?
But I don't think it was because of my university. Again, I think it was just me as a person. And just as an FYI, I'm not doing this to be boastful because I know what our culture is like. I did this and I did that. But I just wanted to say that I was the one that wrote all of the emails. I was the one that reached out to people. For example, when I found my job 3 days...
Did they teach you that in the university? No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because they've been teaching us how to network, how to approach people.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff, I think they're also growing with I think you gave them more value than they gave you.
I know, and it's just a name, I think, and maybe that's what you were going to ask me as well, but it's just a name, like University of the Arts London, you know, it's like, same with designer brands, when you go and you buy a Gucci belt, you're like, oh, it's Gucci, but the belts all do the same thing for me. I'm not a materialistic person, so I just look at clothing and I'm like, okay, yeah, it all serves the same purpose, and I think that all the universities just serve the same purpose. It's to do with you as a person and how driven you are, I think.
Oh, what about some, you mentioned the importance of the big name. Obviously, it attracts a lot of foreigners, a lot of international students. What about those people? Did you get to hang out with this cool creative people like yourself when you were there? Like, did you think it gave you something, at least in that regard?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the only thing that I'd bring out of university is I think when you go to uni, you just mingle with so many different cultures and so many different people and creatives. And we came together and we actually made shoots happen. And then after COVID, we were like, okay, why don't we sit down and do this and this? And yeah, we just created things together as creatives do, just like we are right now, like this is, it all comes together at the end of the day. Yeah.
I loved how you just commented on our podcast and okay, if you do this, then I can offer you this. Like I have an interesting story.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, why not?
Exactly. Yeah. Just outreach is important, I think.
We're not very inclusive podcast, whoever want to join us.
Yeah.
Anyways, this all sounds very fun. Now let's jump to this first big 9-to-5 job that you have. The name we cannot mention for So the guy is pretty stubborn. He's a very well-known photographer, but obviously we cannot say his name.
He or she.
Yeah.
Oh,
they.
I forgot that.
Maybe they.
He, she, or they, yeah.
And apparently they talk about him in Devil Wears Prada at some point.
So they say his name in the Devil Wears Prada, which is exciting.
So if you don't know who he is now, you probably never will. So if you want to do your homework,
watch the Devil Wears Prada.
Exactly. All right. How similar was it to Devil Wears Prada, your life back then? And do you think you learned something there? And do you think you were pursuing your dreams there?
Oh, yeah. I don't know about pursuing my dreams, but I think it taught me a lot as a person. Fresh out of university, I think it just taught me a lot. And I think people then, for example, I was looking at my friends that were still in university or had jobs like being a waitress or a bartender at the time, not really in the industry. I obviously didn't look down on them, but I realized...
How did you get this opportunity?
I looked online. I was looking for jobs every day, and then it was on The Dots. I don't know if you've heard of this creative website. No. It's kind of like Indeed and LinkedIn. Okay. It's called The Dots.
Just for the creative people,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. So I was just refreshing that page every single evening.
That's a nice commercial we're doing right now. I hope they sponsor us one day.
Shout out to The Dots as well. So many shout outs
But were you like outstanding student or something like that? No?
No.
So how did it happen that you got this opportunity and then others didn't?
So again, I think just about the drive, I think whilst being in university.
So you were outstanding student,
I
at
guess,
least in that regard.
maybe if that's outstanding, I guess. But again, just like obviously looking through things and looking at jobs and stuff, whereas my other friends weren't really interested in that at the time. They were like, I want to party after university. I don't want to go straight into work. I want to take a gap year. Was that you?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. But I also wanted to take a gap year, but I thought if I take a gap year, then I know myself, I'll be lazy, I'll get used to it, and I won't get into work. So I thought, why not just keep it going? Like after school, I went to college, then college to uni, and then uni to work. I didn't take a break. And I think that maybe goes back into being a freelancer now. I'm like, I want to take a bit of a break and, work for myself as well.
That's a nice mindset we're listening to right now. And I can see that you do have a drive.
Thank you.
Which is all that matters, in my opinion. Even dumb people can make it. Like that's something I've always been saying. Like obviously we see time after time lot of people that are not necessarily smarter than us, they sometimes shoot pretty highly. And, you know, it makes you frustrated sometimes because you feel like you're an underachiever.
Yeah.
But you gotta give them credit because they do have something that you don't, like this insane amount of drive that...
Yeah, and I think something I've realised about Georgian people as well, like obviously I'm Georgian, but I didn't grow up here, so I'm kind of British in that sense of my way of thinking. But I think a lot of Georgians have imposter syndrome, and they're like, I shouldn't be here, or I shouldn't do this because I'm not going to get there. But I think about faking it till you make it. I think like believe that you can do it. Yeah, I like believe that you can get there, and I think you will. Like kind of like manifestation, but I don't really believe in manifestation. But maybe what I said is manifestation. I don't know, but
it does sound like the same thing.
Yeah,
but,
it worked for a lot of people, so why not?
Yeah,
I'm not saying I'm just not a big believer. Like I do think that you know, you should be working hard towards your goals, and you should be thinking a lot. You should be pretty obsessed if you want to achieve something. But I don't believe like. Do you know this funny video that got viral when this either Indian or Pakistani woman is saying, just because you try too hard, then you're being consistent doesn't mean you're gonna succeed or something.
I don't know that one. You need to show that to me.
Yeah, it's like you can be pretty consistent and hardworking, but it doesn't mean that.
But it gives you more higher chances.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all know that. It's just I'm making a conversation.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah, you also mentioned that just like Levan, you also have ADHD. How does that play a role in your everyday life?
Oh, that is a really tough question because I think I don't try to feed into my ADHD. I'm not one of those people that is like using it as an excuse. I genuinely, victim, right? Like, oh, I have ADHD, I can't do it.
Before you'll continue, I just need to ask, because a lot of people, and this is like became a common trend, that people are saying I have ADHD.
Oh, I know.
Do you have that as a diagnosis, or is it just like you woke up, you did some kind of
and
test?
I was like, I can't focus today, I have ADHD.
Because we do have people like that who are saying, who did the test on Google and, okay, I have an ADHD.
I have ADHD.
I mean, that's what I did before my diagnosis. It was like a BuzzFeed thing. I was like, do I have ADHD? I did a test and it said yes, but then I actually got a diagnosis at university, actually, because I really, really struggled throughout school, throughout college. I didn't pay attention in maths and science. I failed maths and science at school, actually.
But that's not actually ADHD.
That's just me being stupid.
Not listening to teachers.
Like that's boring stuff, I guess.
I don't know. But honestly, there were just so many things. Yeah.
That was funny.
Just so many things that I struggled with. And I thought to myself, why is it that I struggle so much more than an average person? And I think then when I went to university, my teacher was like, okay, it's dissertation time. You need to write 9,000 words or 10,000 words. And honestly, it felt like someone just told me that someone's died. Like I just felt this overwhelming sense of like sensation.
Was there no ChatGPT by then?
No, well, actually there was, but I didn't know how to use it. And I think I just never used it. So actually, I'm very proud of myself for writing my dissertation without ChatGPT. Unlike some people.
Good for you.
So yeah, I got my diagnosis and they gave me 1 month extra for my dissertation, but I actually handed it still on time, which was like quite a good thing. Because again, I was like, I don't want it to take over my life and I don't want it to distract me. So I think going back to your question, like it's really challenging because again, I'm a creative. I love doing so many things at once. And for example, when I'm doing freelancing, I've already found jobs and stuff to do in the next few weeks. And I'm there and I'm doing it. And then all of a sudden, like something happens and then I get distracted and I'm doing that. And then I have to go back to it and there's no deadlines and no one gives me a deadline anymore because I don't have teachers and I'm not at school. So then I have to make my own way in life and I have to put things in calendars and stuff. So it is really tiring and it's really draining to have it. And it's not all about concentration, by the way, ADHD. That's what people think it is. But there's things like anger, like outbursts of things and emotions and like get your personality going up and down, like kind of like autism as well. Like lots of people are like,
I mean,
yeah.
no. Now that you explain it, like a lot of those things does
Yeah.
sound like me. So maybe I should get checked. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
But people
because
like
that's why I said. I mean, he thinks that he has ADHD from
Yeah,
The
but
test.
I
From the
never actually.
internet.
not that he
Yeah.
has a diagnosis.
yeah, but yeah, there's just so many things to do with it, and it's not just
feel
about
like I'm on the.
concentration. You're like, okay, you have it. I've diagnosed you now. Diagnosis.
I'll give you a few examples. Like, I find it really tough to focus unless everybody is asleep in the house, and unless like I can
Night
only do
owl.
my work. Yeah, like
Yeah.
when everybody is asleep.
Me too.
Yeah, right. And I can never focus in the public area, or like I had some colleagues that they would just take their laptop anywhere, and they would do as much as good work as I would do, like sitting alone in my apartment.
And then do you also
Does-
get hyperfocus as well, where you're doing a task and like you're so focused, and if
Sometimes.
someone
He never
disrupts
gets-
it,
he never gets
No?
hyper-
I can
focused.
get focused.
There's hyper focused.
Hyperfocus.
I've known you
No?
from like seventh grade. You've never been hyper focused for sure.
That's so funny. Now you're Lemon's having a
I am
midlife
hyper
crisis.
focused when I'm skiing, for
When you're
example.
yes,
Oh,
Like, I'm
okay.
true.
I'm
Then
super
sorry.
focused.
Then sorry.
So he gets
So I guess
It's
it's
true.
really it really depends on what you do. Like again,
Yeah.
it brings back to my topic. Like I find it hard to focus on stuff that I find boring. So-
in an office, 9 to 5. For
Yeah.
me, that's boring. For me, it's boring.
No offense taken. This podcast is not
Yeah.
about promoting 9 to 5.
No.
It's about challenging.
Of
it,
course,
actually.
there are people who actually enjoy it. There are
Yeah.
people just like you who
There's
just
nothing wrong
can't
with it.
stand
Yeah.
of it. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
of course.
Very
Yeah,
true.
nothing's wrong.
Yeah,
with that.
honestly, I mean, it has a lots of benefits. You know, some people do find peace in working 9 to 5, having regular routine
Yeah.
all day.
That's what I was about to say as well. I think that's the thing I will find hard. Again, with my ADHD, it's so good to have a routine knowing you're getting up. And this is when you leave the house, and that's when you have to get into work and you have all of these deadlines.
Keep the mind busy.
Exactly. So I think that is something I will find really difficult, because it's like I don't have someone like jumping down my throat and being my boss, you know?
Oh yeah,
Like,
I hate that.
Yeah. So,
Some of the jobs I left was because of that.
yeah. Shout out to horrible bosses.
I in fact had the same exact line, I believe, like, you know, this toxic bosses, and I had a full breakdown of what they do and why are they
Manipulative. Yeah. I know.
they take everything personally.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, no.
That can
Okay.
be a whole nother podcast.
absolutely. Awesome. Now let's talk more about, like, obviously you're a very smart young lady.
Thank
You've
you.
done some stuff in your life, and definitely I want to hear more about your journey in creative area, and hopefully we'll do some collaborations as well.
Yeah.
But now I want to talk more about how's life different in London compared to Tbilisi. And before you say that you haven't lived much in Tbilisi, how was those summer vacations here, and where were you living? Was it the central Tbilisi? Was it like the suburban area?
Yeah.
Those small details do make a lot of difference in your experience. And once you answer that, then I have another questions about
okay.
those TikTok comments that you just saw.
Oh my god. Okay.
Because I don't want you to get the wrong impression of.
No.
Yeah.
I know. Again, like, obviously I'm a Georgian. My parents are Georgian. My sister's Georgian, and she's married to a Georgian. She has a Georgian husband. So I've grown up obviously in the Georgian
Wait,
culture.
your sister also came to London. Like, she grew up there as well.
Yeah. So
and
she also
married Georgian.
She
where?
married a Georgian man that she's known since childhood. Yeah.
But was he also in the UK?
No, he was living here. They did long distance for 8 years. I know.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, like I can talk about that as well. That's amazing. So good for her, and she's very happy.
Yeah.
And he's 8 years.
long
Yeah, long
Shout out for them.
distance.
Is that even possible?
Yeah,
I mean, we do
Well,
have a live.
apparently.
I mean, I think
example.
I'm assuming
but-
they've been traveling quite
it's
frequently.
back and forth. Yeah, at least once a year they would see each other for like a
Still.
month. I know, it's hard. I know. Sorry, what was your question?
Yeah, that's ADHD, baby.
Again. Oh, the difference between the countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think,
and you were just making a point that your sister is married to
okay.
Georgian man.
So, so I think the main difference actually was when I was coming to this podcast, I spent an hour coming here. And I jumped into the taxi and this man is driving really quickly, a taxi driver. He doesn't care about my health. Like, he doesn't care if he's going to kill me. Like, he's literally driving so quickly. And he's talking to me and we start chatting. And he's like, oh, look, this is my dog. This is my dog. And bearing in mind, like, the wheel, sorry, I just moved this. The wheel is here and his phone is there. And he's looking behind and he's going, this is my dog. Look. And I'm literally going, oh my God, to my boyfriend, like, I'm literally going to die on my way to this podcast. And I'm so scared. And honestly, like, I don't know, this might be controversial at how angry I get at this, but I get so angry because I'm like, okay, if you don't care about your life, that's fine, but you need to think about your passengers because that's something so big in London. When you get an Uber, it costs so much and like the service is amazing. I think that's something, shout out to England.
Yeah,
for,
but
like,
in his defense, it was a puppy.
I know. And also his kid and also where they lived and where he worked and stuff. I got the whole entire life story.
Honestly, I have to agree to that. Like, one big difference is definitely service. Like that's the one thing that I get used to. You know, that's on the positive side of the UK.
Yeah.
I get used to this excellent service because they make you feel like they do really care about you.
And it's nice. It's a great feeling.
It's like British
I think
fake
it's about
politeness
the,
work.
I think it's
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the culture because I mean culturally they are just like that type of small
They like
services.
to fake it.
No, I mean it's natural that you should be doing job like that. And not the
exactly. Like,
other way.
Not
and
our
here we are
aggressive
raised
type
different.
of customer support. It's horrible.
I think like there's just so
a
much.
few things you need to get used to.
Yeah.
Like, don't even have the hope that it's gonna change anytime soon. At least.
I know. But also there are taxi drivers that are like not on their phones and not smoking and not on FaceTime to their families. And I'm like, oh, that's really nice. Like, and then when I talk to them, there seems to be this like, I don't know what the word is actually. Like the same thing that comes up when I speak to these drivers that are not on their phones and they're like, oh, I lived in Italy for 5 years or I lived abroad. And I'm like, oh, okay. So there's some sort of like similarity there. Yeah. So I'm like, I feel like people that have lived abroad know how to treat customers. And I feel really bad because obviously I have an English boyfriend, English-Belgian boyfriend, and he obviously lives here now and he's very understanding of everything. But when we go to like a nice restaurant and the waiter's like, what do you want?
Yeah,
and obviously like writing like this, I'm
just
like,
take your food and get the fuck out.
yeah. And do you know what? I think they really show how they feel inside, which is amazing because I'm like, I wish I could have worked as a waitress and done that because I was a waitress as well in England in a Georgian restaurant actually. And I was like, hello.
I couldn't find Georgian restaurant there for I don't know how many years.
Oh no, you should have come to London. There's 12.
That's the only one. Do they work well?
Yeah,
okay.
But khachapuri is 20 lari. Sorry, 20 pounds.
20 pounds.
Yeah, which is like 60 or 70 lari, which is a lot.
Yeah,
for khachapuri, right?
Yeah.
And it's not. I'm assuming it's not gonna be good. There was one Armenian restaurant in Manchester.
Okay.
And 5 hingali was cost around £15.
Yeah, same.
How much is that?
Yeah, that would be 45.
Yeah,
and it was disgusting.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, it was okay.
And it wasn't even good?
No, it was horrible.
Oh.
It didn't taste like hingali.
Yeah.
The food was a real problem there.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the biggest challenge I had. Nothing tasted like it was supposed to taste.
You have PTSD from England. I can see it in your
exactly.
eyes.
I've been talking a lot about it. I feel like this, this podcast is kind of my therapy session most of the times because I get to speak a lot about my experience in England. And honestly, not that many people can relate to that in Georgia because a lot of Georgians have been to US, have been to Europe. Not that many in the UK.
No.
And to get this British visa is actually more complicated than even compared to US. I don't know why.
They make it really difficult. Yeah. I mean, some of my family...
I mean, for us, obviously.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, the whole Asia is there nowadays, right?
Yeah.
So how come...
I don't know. That question I cannot answer. I have no idea. So
how do you feel about that, by the way? The mass migration, the crime levels... do you? I don't want to ask like what's your political stand is, but like, do you have any thoughts on that? Like, do you think something should be done differently in that regard?
Yeah. I think this is a good chance for then you to ask about my TikTok comment. The guy commenting on my TikTok. Let's talk about
you don't really have
racism.
that much of an ADHD. I think.
Yeah.
I was saying, okay, so we were talking about the shocks in Georgia and then the stuff that she doesn't like, and you know, from these cultural comparisons. But the reason why I ask this is because it really does matter who is watching you. Sometimes on social media we can exaggerate the you know, this. Some people, we all know that in online there are many morons who just comment stupid shit all the time, and they make the whole country look bad, right? So there was some disgusting comments on her video.
Yeah,
you can
TikTok.
talk more about it, but
I'll answer your question first, I think.
Right.
I'll answer the mass deportation thing.
It was a hate or what happened?
Yeah, he was a hater.
like,
We'll get into it.
No, the context is really...
Yeah.
I don't know. She's going to say it.
Yeah. But lots of words to not say because he was being very rude. But I think England is an amazing country in the sense of there's so many people you can meet there. I'm not racist whatsoever. I don't care who comes into the country whatsoever. Like, I love meeting new people. I love going to different countries too. And I've experienced racism. Like, my dad has experienced racism, for example, in England as well.
What do they usually assume? Like, well,
like,
where are they from?
I don't even know, like
from?
laughing or something.
No,
like
what I mean is like, do they assume you're not British?
They always thought I was from India, actually, like Indian or Egyptian.
What?
Yeah.
You are a little darkish.
This is a tan, but I get very tan.
No, I
I
mean,
get really dark.
respectfully to every nation, but no.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you think that,
also
but
don't
so
think
many
she
people,
looks like Indian.
so many people
maybe
thought,
Middle Eastern, something like that.
yeah, like I don't know, Syrian or
glasses,
like Iranian or
glasses,
something. I don't know. I am 4% Iranian. I did a DNA test, so that was really interesting.
Oh, that's
I
You
like
don't
also
know.
did a DNA
very
test.
trendy in the UK. They do that kind of thing.
Ancestry.
I don't want to do my DNA test. I think,
You should.
because I feel like my grandparents would be Nazis or something like that. I had German grandmother.
Oh my god. Well, you should definitely do it. That was another taxi thing as well. I was talking to this taxi driver about like racism and stuff, and he was like, I'm 100% Georgian. And I was like, do you know what? I thought so too. And then I did a DNA test. I was 4% Iranian. So
What's 100% Georgian?
I don't
honestly,
know, but
what is it? That's like, we've been invaded every century.
Isn't that
every
something
time.
that you always say that you're 100% Georgian? Or Tbilisi, you're a Tbilisian.
Yeah, exactly. Right. No, what I mean is like, what is genetically Georgian?
There's almost no chance.
Am I less
to be
Georgian than like
100%.
somebody who has only Georgian parents? I don't think so, because their Georgian parents are probably...
No, it should go way back. It's not just about parents.
Yeah, I
or
mean, there's
grandparents.
certain parts of certain regions of Georgia that are more preserved, I would say. You know, places like San Migrelo.
Yeah.
You know, mostly western part that has been not as frequently invaded, while like the east side of Georgia has always been invaded from Persians, from Osmanians, from all sorts of imperialistic countries. So when I would assume like most of those people are saying that they are very Georgian, like 100% Georgian. So
Yeah, you can do the test. Maybe we can do it together.
No,
yeah.
what I mean is like if you have this blood of Persian and Osmanian and sometimes maybe even Russian, does that mean that you are not Georgian? I don't think.
No.
Because it says on my test, it said Caucasus and Anatolian 100%.
Yeah, Caucasus is the right definition, I would say.
So I think, I don't know, that said 100%, but then it said
you do
Georgian,
like Caucasian,
Azerbaijan,
of course.
Armenia, like that is obviously combined.
Yeah.
So if you're saying like 100% from there, then you probably are 100% from there. I don't know.
Interesting.
We'll see. But
so you had experienced some sort of racism. Interesting.
But then I started speaking English, and then everyone wanted to be friends with a foreign girl, you know, because like no one was foreign in the school
like
apart from me. So that was
first you're
exciting for
cringy,
everyone.
then you're cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you mean like you were ignored or that type of
Yeah,
thing, or
When I was in, so when I first joined
maybe it's too personal.
school,
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. When I first joined the school, genuinely it lasted like 2 or 3 days where people were just like hanging out with their little friends and stuff. Because obviously I couldn't speak in English, and when you're like 8 years old, you can't like you just go, oh, that girl can't speak English, okay, fine, let's just ignore her and like let's not include her in anything. So I think it was just that kind of thing where it was like, you know, not being included.
Just
But then
no,
I
Yeah,
would say that's like a common thing that
That's very
might
natural,
happen.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
not that
yeah.
it's
But then, like my
It's
dad,
race stuff, yeah.
But then, like my dad, for example, experienced it and stuff. And I don't know. There's obviously more personal
Do
things.
your
I
parents
have
still live
experienced.
in the UK? Your dad
yeah.
and mom?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They live in the UK.
Huh.
Yeah, my mum in London and my dad lives in Bournemouth, which is like a small sea town. But yeah,
it's quite a good story. Yeah, Mariam, really, really good one.
thank you.
I was going to ask you something and I forgot.
Maybe about racism and going into
no,
the
I was
thing.
saying, going back to mass migration, I never accused you or anybody else of being racist,
No,
and we're
no,
not
I know.
either. Like
No,
I have
no.
so many different,
Yeah.
so many friends from different races and different
Yeah.
nations. My point is like our previous guest had a point that if you're going to a different country, you need to bring something to the table. Otherwise, just why are you even coming here, right? And
That's
if
an
you're only
interesting view.
bringing, if you're bringing only, like if you're, I don't even know how to put this politically correctly, but yeah, like you're going somewhere else for a better quality of life. You're expecting something from this country, so you need to, I don't know, do your part at some point. And if you're just going there to cause the chaos and tyranny, then you're not worth going there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe, obviously, like migrating to a country and like just being bad, like a bad person. I'm not saying you need to come and like, I don't know, bring me something or like whatever, or like change the country or etc. I'm just saying that I think it's great that people are migrating to different places. And if you look at the NHS, which I'm sure that you know NHS, you will find that
I was
all
there
of
with
them.
a pregnant wife.
Oh, really?
And we had to wait how many months? I don't
Yeah.
even know, for the regular
But
checkups.
where were they from? Like, where were the doctors from? Where were the nurses from? English?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, okay.
Some of them from, I can't really tell by, just looking at the person, but they sounded pretty British.
Okay.
The problem was not the nurses. Problem was getting access to that services.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah, it's horrible because there's just so many people and it's free.
And it's not just the understaffing that we were facing. Obviously they didn't have places. All right,
Yeah.
so there are a lot of people that need
Yeah.
healthcare. And pregnancy is not a sickness, so you
No.
can wait.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
And
Not too long, I hope.
but it was really tough to plan stuff there, and it wasn't just that. It was also their website was pretty horrible, and all sorts of technical issues.
Yeah.
At some point, you just needed to like take the full day off to get there.
Yeah.
And just wait the whole day
know,
and just
yeah.
to meet someone who would just help
Yeah.
you in an emotional way
Yeah,
as well.
I waited like 8 hours before. Like when I had an injury, my spine broke. I was like skateboarding and like it fractured, and then I was waiting for like 8 hours for someone to even see me. So that was crazy.
Yeah, I had
But-
an Indian friend who had his appendix had to be
Yeah.
removed. He was in horrible pain, and he also waited like 24 hours.
Yeah, but I think like if we're going to talk about the job side of things, I think people coming into the UK, so many of them I found are working for the NHS, which is amazing. And then people who are racist, they're like, oh, they come and they steal my job and they steal jobs from me.
Oh,
When
yeah,
English
I've
people
heard that
are
story
quite lazy,
before.
I think, actually.
Yeah.
So no one's stealing your job. They're just doing jobs that you don't want to do, that they actually want
Somebody
to do.
commented
and help.
on
So,
that statement that
Yeah.
if there's a foreigner coming into different country who doesn't have skills and doesn't speak the language, and that person is taking your job, how unemployable are you? You know, that's the question, right?
Very true. No, very true. Yeah, that's crazy. I can speak about that for a long time, actually.
I mean, maybe we can move on to some positive side. For example, you do have passion for photography.
Yeah.
Is there something specific that you like to shoot, or do you just shoot anything?
I love shooting people. I love getting to know them and stuff. And I think, again, working in fashion, you do their hair, you do their makeup, you put them in clothes they would never usually wear, and they just have like this transformation, which I think is really, really cool. Yeah. If you guys ever want a model for me, let me know.
I remember another question I had when we were discussing stuff about the photography. I saw some crazy stuff that AI does nowadays. Have you checked this banana AI? Whatever?
No, I haven't.
It's like it gives you the professional lightings and stuff. You can take a
really?
shitty picture,
Yeah.
and like if you work really well with this prompting and stuff,
Yeah.
it looks,
I
I don't know, as good as any other photographer would
Oh,
take. Yeah.
controversial.
No,
You're like,
I
go
mean,
AI.
like I'm only talking about like the
Yeah.
portrait
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
like
yeah.
in the studio setup and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like you don't really need this kind of
It's
cool
getting
lighting.
really good, like really
Really?
good.
So
Okay.
like
I'll have to
Yeah,
check
yeah.
it out.
I don't want to ruin your creativity, but I think you should get on that horse, to be
Oh,
honest.
okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think like when I worked at the photographer, like when I worked for the photographer, he was looking at new ways of like working. So he was obviously looking at AI and stuff and how we could have incorporated that in his work and everything as well, which was really interesting. And that's when like AI came into play. But it was to do with retouching, really, so that the retouchers didn't have to spend loads of time like doing their work, and it just kind of made their work a little bit easier. But I don't ever use AI for my pictures, and I don't think I ever will. I think again, like
no, never say never.
say, yeah.
and no, don't. I was that person.
Yeah.
Like I was saying to some innovative stuff that okay, that's not my thing. I'm never gonna do that. My advice, just because you're younger than me, I'm not
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
a statement. Don't be like that.
Yeah.
Because you need to familiarize yourself
Yeah.
with this stuff. Because
Yeah.
others will take advantage. Others would take advantage of that. And
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. There's been so many like fake campaigns I've seen that AI has done, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. And I'm like, wait, I didn't even realize it's AI.
Yeah,
So I'm
exactly.
definitely gonna get scammed when I'm older for sure.
well, I don't even think it's a matter of age, to be honest. Like we can definitely get scammed
Yeah.
Yes,
with this
of
new
course. It's
update of
getting
Sora.
terrifyingly accurate
Yeah.
on every detail. There's so many videos where you can just
It's
Turn it on
indistinguishable from the.
and just
Yeah.
choose. Okay, is it an AI or is it a real one?
Yeah.
And I did 40% correct.
Oh,
Really,
Have you
suck,
seen-
man.
have you seen that girl that does it?
I'm gonna
When her
show you,
objects
okay?
disappear.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Have you
yeah,
seen?
yeah.
And she's like, "Is this real or is it not?" And then I'm like,
I
"Real,"
saw
and then
that.
disappears.
I
I'm
could
like,
never
"Oh."
guess it.
I'm
man.
gonna show you that
That's
video. Let's see how much.
I no, I think I know now. I know which one you're talking about.
That's not easy.
There was-
Really.
No.
There was one of bunnies jumping on the trampoline. I don't know if you saw that video, but it's like nighttime and these bunnies and they jump on the trampoline. And I was like, oh, and I was saying like to someone, I was like, oh, look how cute this is. And they're like,
there's-
Mary, it's
It's all
AI.
And there's one video where the person is speaking about is this an AI or not,
Yeah.
and that person is AI at the end, and that's
Oh
that's
my
ridiculous.
God. Terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah, I hope it doesn't kill photography. Or, I mean, the weirdest thing is, people.
It can't kill creativity.
No, that's exactly the point. Like everybody was always saying that, like it cannot create. And the most impacted industries right now are creative industries. Like it actually, it's the opposite that we're seeing, right? Like the technical, the stuff in engineering and high precision jobs, they are still there and they're gonna be there for a while. But those creative stuff that, obviously I don't mean like if you have a certain type of vision and you're a genius, you're gonna find your way. But this creative stuff, it's already very accessible for everyone, and obviously, if you have zero vision, you're not even going to be able to prompt
to
something
use
good.
it, yeah.
But
it takes a lot of skill to be able to prompt AI to do what you want it to do as well. Even if you use ChatGPT for work as well. I started using it maybe like a year ago to do with like emails and stuff. I was like, how can I persuade my client to like book one of our models for this job? So I think you need to know how to use it.
That's
and it's creative, I guess, in that sense.
Yeah, because imagine you have a limitless memory and you're filled with data all day long. So obviously you have access on everything. And if somebody like triggers something, important in your mind, then you're gonna get there. And then what is creativity? Like if you could define creativity, what is it for you?
Oh, that's
I know it's
hard.
a difficult question, right?
Yeah.
But like, can you give it like a time and try to somehow give me your take on what's creativity for you?
I think creativity is that quote that says the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I think. Like, if that makes sense, I guess. So I think creativity is what you make it. There's so many like exhibitions I've been to.
So
and
it's
like
subjective.
Yeah, it's subjective. Like exhibitions where it's like a potato on the ground and like, have you seen that thing where it was like glasses were on the floor, someone put glasses on the floor and people were looking around and they're like, oh my God, wow, that's so cool. And it was just someone that had dropped their glasses by accident. So I think that's what creativity is,
there are
just what you make it.
too many examples of that, even in that famous movie when they make fun of this museum of the paintings where in the Intouchables.
Yeah.
When this guy just throws the paint on the... And somebody was willing to pay so much money.
I think it was like 35 pounds.
Yeah.
And it was like nosebleed on
so it is definitely, there are many moving factors there. Some people are just trying to, I don't know, see something that's not there, for one. And like if you ask me what's creativity, is some sort of...
Magic, you can call it magic.
No,
I know.
Good definition. Very good.
Like in my head, the creativity was always associated with something. There's a standard solution, and you can find some innovation to it. There's a standard way of doing things, and you can come up with something new to that.
Yeah.
That's like a very blunt explanation of it. But if we go into, I don't know. If we try to explain in a higher level, I guess it's like you have this your life experience that it's you're filled with this information, and that gives you access some of your parts in your brain that brings something new to the table. And taking that to the in case of AI, imagine that it has limitless information, not just your life, but everybody's life, right?
Yeah.
So if it gets to the correct point, obviously it can be very, very creative, more creative than most people, right?
Very true.
So that's the scary part about AI.
You're very wise.
Oh my God. Yeah. We've touched the many, many topics, and I almost forgot that I wanted to ask you. Okay, you could have just was the main reason why you came back because that it's your home, or you were just find.
I think just 50-50, to be honest. It's familiar to me. I have my family here. I think if my boyfriend had suggested going to another country, I would have been more hesitant, because then it would have been a completely new lifestyle. And I don't know, like I was thinking of moving to Italy, and Milan is very big on fashion. But then I thought, I would have to have new colleagues, a 9-to-5 job. Then I don't know why I didn't think about freelance there, but I just thought it's really expensive there and all of these things. So I think moving to Georgia had a lot of like perks, one of them being my family, of course, and just like giving back to my country and finding out where I'm from, because I left at such an early age. So I think I'm just rediscovering myself, my identity. When people ask me like, where's your home? I don't have to go, I don't know. Like now I can be like, in Georgia, and I'm Georgian as well. So, but I don't know if I'm Georgian.
It's an exciting time for you.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's gonna be very exciting for you and for your boyfriend as well.
Thank you.
No,
But
it's
we'll
it's good
see.
to have you here and
Thank
use your talent
you.
in this country and not in some other.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. But yeah, we'll see where it goes, like me being here. And yeah.
I wanted to talk a lot of shit about the UK, but you're so nice and you're so I don't know, likable, and you make it sound like it's really a nice country, but like things just happen sometimes, something like that.
But I don't think we
So
even
I-
got to finish like the parallel universe of like
I
Tbilisi
hold my
and London.
tongue in this
Yeah.
episode. Even I hope I didn't say much in the
No.
beginning.
No, you were great.
Anyway, I'm very glad that you're back to your home country. I hope we get to hang out more,
Thank you. I
especially
hope
in
so
those
too.
exciting collaborations that
Yeah.
I have in my mind. And I think I forgot to mention that negative comment, but we don't have to.
Yeah.
Let's just save that for the audience to check if they want.
If
And
it's still there, I
If it's
don't
still
know.
there, well, it's gonna be there if you didn't delete
Yeah,
it.
I know, very true.
Otherwise, that guy got some sort of enlightenment in his head and decided to become righteous.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much,
Thank you
Mariam.
so much.
At the end, I'm gonna call you Mariam.
Okay.
It was awesome to see your perspective on life and
Thank
your
you.
career journey. And bye. Subscribe us. She's amazing. We'll have her link
you.
as well in the comments.
Thank you. Bye.
There you go.
Thank you.